Hello everybody, I'm Rockin' Bite, and welcome to my Season 3 send-off video, which I believe is number 207. Anyway, I want to start off saying I'm going to be playing some Guan Yu, because he's just been a major component on my channel and the characters that I've played. I'm also going to point out that this is pre-recorded, and I'm dubbing over it. I did have an issue last time. Thankfully, special thanks to a Freak King who pointed out that I went and had the audio completely turned off. I am fairly certain that that will not be the case this time. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is actually going to be a very, very hard matchup for Guan Yu to be fighting. As you guys should see shortly, I can't remember exactly when the lock-in happens, but the enemy team has a lot of things that just straight counter me, and it can be a pretty difficult match. All in all, though, I think it was a pretty fun one. Anyway, covering more so about what's going to be happening to Guan coming here for Season 4. His heal is being nerfed down, right? Well, okay, mana cost same, cooldown same, still has the 2-second cooldown thing whenever you hit an allied god. That's still there, that's still great. But what they wanted to do was reduce just healing in general. They wanted to reduce out of combat healing on certain characters such as Hell, Guan Yu, Sylvanas, Terra, stuff like that. They want to reduce that. In exchange, they'll give them other things to make them better in combat, aside from healing. For instance, we have Sylvanas, for instance. He loses some healing. In exchange, his one will do what it should have done from the start, and when he hits you with it, it'll put pin on you. Alright? Well, as for Hell, she's still, I think, a complete goofy mess, a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to get into it because I haven't had too much time to look at it because I'm not interested in the character. Anyway, to the main point here. Alright, so Guan Yu's heal is being nerfed down from what it was, well, what it is now, which is like 65 through 185 or so. I'm not 100% on that. And it's being nerfed down to 50, which is the initial starting of the pass, 50 to 150, getting 25 a level, as opposed to 30. Now it still has the boost component, it still has the boost component, component to where it can go up to 300 at max rank. All in all, I think the ability is probably fine. What I'd actually like to see is if they're doing what they say they're doing, where they're trying to, take away some in-combat healing on characters and push them more towards in-combat healing, they could maybe put some of those physical protections back on that heal. Maybe if they have to jack up the cost a little bit to make it really meaty, or take the healing down a little more, that could be a cool thing. Maybe you have something to do with the charge component. I don't know. Either way, I think that'll be alright. Moving on, Warrior's Will, Guan Yu's 2. For a long time, it was actually like a 20 or 25% slow. I can't remember. It was so long ago, and it was meh, because that kind of a slow isn't really noticeable on most characters because everyone's just so mobile these days. In the past, it would be useful, and maybe these days, if you can get your hands on like an Hopwash or Raw or whatever the hell Bud plays, those immobile mages, you can do pretty well with it. But they put it up to 30 to put him more in line with other warriors, such as Wukong's 2. I think Odin's 3 has it as well. His might actually be harder, and I think it lasts forever, but it lasts like 4.2 seconds. Anyway, getting off point again. They nerfed it down from 30 to 20%. Now, they had said this is to prevent it from having the boost. The way the boost had worked previously, it'd be the 30 and then it'd double it to 60. And they're like, well, this is kind of slow as egregious. They don't want to deal with it. And that's fair enough. That kind of a slow is irritating, alright? That's really irritating. It's good for high res. They're making the game a little less annoying. But taking the initial amount down, I guess it's maybe so because they want to be like, oh, this is double, this is double, this is double, stuff like that. But then Tallow Assault doesn't match up with it. But anyway, all in all, I'm a little bit, not really too happy about it. The base slow on it being nerfed down to 20. They did, however, reduce the mana cost on it, which is something really should have happened a long time ago. It actually took them a little while to do that for Guan, since he was changed over from being a Guardian. What was that, in late 2012, 2013? I'll have to look at the numbers. Don't quote me on them. But when he was a Guardian, all of his abilities, it literally costed 100 mana, which is very similar to how Vamana sorta is now, except for his one, which I believe is 90. Just these high costs on physical characters, I think, is a little bit goofy, in the sense that it's just there's not a lot of choice in what you can do. They've been getting better about it, such as Breastplate is going to have MP5 on it, which is really nice. Oh, look at that, though. As I was saying, as you can see there, I did say it's a very hard matchup. The thing that happens when I play Guan, and one of the reasons I try not to play him as much anymore, It's what I call the curse of Nox. No matter where or when I play Guan, there's gonna be a Nox, and she's gonna randomly hit that too, and I'm fucked. Either and either way, just for fun, we'll just give him a nemesis to shred me. But anyway, where was I? Right, the ultimate, Guan Yu's ultimate. They tried to say, well, we took the healing down on it, healing down on his one. In exchange, we'll change his ult up a little bit, give it a little more damage. Which on paper, when you look at it at first, it's like, oh yeah, this looks pretty good. But until I looked a little closer, I saw that the damage escalation per swing, which has currently on live 20% swing, is being halved, cut in half down to 10% per swing, which is actually pretty major. That's a lot of percentage, considering if you do a perfect ult, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do, but if you work on it, you get a perfect ult in Guan, you can hit someone with all 6 hits. The 6th hit being the literal dismount into stun hit, because that does count as well. So the damage on that is going from, currently on live season 3 is 1575 by my math. Down to 1536 on season 4. Now bear in mind this is before scaling, which I believe is exactly the same, but it's just worth noting because they did try to say it was a buff, and you know, you gotta call them out on that stuff. All in all, Guan will probably be alright. You know, he'll probably be, if I had to use a tier list system, I would probably keep him in low A, high B, something around there. I don't know what other people would think of it, but that's just how I'm seeing it, which has been better than it has been in the past, as I would have considered him, you know, maybe C or even lower back in the past whenever, after the Great Warrior nerf from season 2, or I don't even know, man, it's so long ago, whenever he was no longer able to shred protections for himself, which was really rough. But that's an ancient history, I don't have to worry about that. Next up on the agenda here is Hercules Mitigate Wounds. Now, it's no new thing now, knowing that they had changed it so it's not heal over time. For a while there, it was just a 75 heal at rank 1, and then it would heal the same amount over 5 seconds, and it went up some goofy amount, and it would give him 10 through 30 protections. Well, I didn't like the idea, and the community apparently did not like it either. So they actually did. They worked on it to change it, and as it stands currently, now it can still change before the 3rd, which is supposed to be when this patch drops. I believe it's the 3rd. Is it the 3rd? Yeah, it's either the 2nd or the 3rd of I think February that it's supposed to actually have the patch drop, so they might change it before then. But anyway, what it does now is it has just the immediate heal that it used to do over time initially on mitigate wounds being 60 through 220, which it did in the past, but it was, you know, over time. But it'll do it instantly, and then the damage that you've taken is returned to you. Now in the past it was, they're talking recent past, currently on season 3 live, it's 90% healed back to you over 10 seconds of all damage you've taken, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, either way, it's whatever. But what it is going to be in season 4, it's going from 90% down to 70%. But in exchange, it will be instant, which is very interesting because I've messed around with it a little bit. You get the heal to be giant. Now before, bear in mind, it was actually a bigger amount before, but you'll actually be able to see it here, which will probably make it a little bit better if you have someone with Rod of Cephalus or something, which I should probably offhandedly mention here, that before I finish that Gauntlet of Thebes is no longer going to be providing a physical character heal boost. Like, it was 20% just for yourself. They had misrepresented it and said that it was an aura. I don't know the game a little bit sometimes, but it is literally, you could take a look on season 3 right now. You see Gauntlet of Thebes is actually counted as a self buff. It is not an aura like Rod of Cephalus. It is losing that, and it is instead gaining a protection aura. By the way, before I forget, the Hercule is also getting scaling protections 10 through 50, which is absolutely insane, and it's probably, you know, that's why I'm calling it a side grade or even just a straight direct buff on what it was currently. Hercules should be absolutely fine. It's going to be pretty cool to play him. Anyway, what was that? Gauntlet of Thebes protection aura. Be 20 of each protection, so you're going to have an item in the health tree that gives 400 health and, what was it, 15 HP 5? 20? I don't know, some odd amount of it. And then we'll also give those protections, making this a very powerful item, especially if you are playing a support. You pick up Sov, you pick up Heartward, you pick that up, you are throwing out so much protections to your team, not to mention the things that Sov and Heartward do, such as MP5 and HP5, etc. Looking at a very aura heavy tank thing, you know, you're going to give your allies, all your squishies can be tanky with you. as well as the regen from Sov and such. I think it's going to be a great defense item. Something I'm sad about though is I feel that they could have made another item to do it. They really could have made another item to do it. We didn't really need to be losing items. They're trying to add items and then they're sort of taking items away. You know, the E-staff, for instance, they did something to that. We're sort of losing our high health thing. I remember a long time ago the item was actually what was it, a 600 or 800 health item. It was pretty crazy. Understandably, that's crazy, but it was sort of just an instant Warlock Sash. I don't know. It's a long time ago. I can't remember too well. All I know is that we're losing the passive on it for converting health into power, which could always be fun to take, say, Ymir or Kabrakan, or hell even Kumba, and do a health build and then get some pin and just actually go and wreck stuff. You know, in pubs, obviously. Anyway, with no physical heal booster on Thebes, it's a little unfortunate. Oh, also, Stone of Gaia. They heard the community's outcry, and a personal outcry of mine as well. It is now going to have its healing every 5 seconds returned to it, which would be like 0.4% of your max health a second. In addition to the knock-up immunity, so it'll essentially act like a Magi's on knock-ups. Now it's no longer going to heal your health or grant you mana when you get knocked up, but it's still going to have it's going to have its current passive for season 3, regenerating your health, which I think was a great move, and it'll actually push this item into seeing more use. At least that's what I would say. It would do that, because currently on season 3 it's very hard to really fit Stone of Gaia into your build because it's just raw health, and currently with how powerful Chin's is and just raw health by itself, it can be a little bit difficult. Let's see. Oh yeah, also I am doing this map on Clash here, the Season 3 Clash, primarily because Conquest isn't really changing. I don't really care if Conquest myself, but it's not really changing. Just some timer shit. But Clash, however, is getting a complete overhaul. It's going to be... I've actually seen it, and I guess a number of you have probably seen it if you've been on PTS. It actually looks pretty cool. It's a little buggy. Hopefully they fix the bug with the boss and the, you know, the snake boss in the middle. That's supposed to be like the replacement for Fire Giant. With him having his poison sit on you forever, which was just a fucking nightmare. He slowly died and nothing you knew about it. Oh man. By the way, as the enemy team does have a Chuck, and I'm not sure, I've not really been looking at the video here. I'm just sort of dubbing over it, but I think Chuck didn't really receive any changes, so with various things that are in Season 4, Chuck is going to be pretty good. I think Chuck's going to be pretty good. I know at one point I did Chuck week, and then I just sort of stagnated out of playing him, but we look forward to some more Chuck gameplay on the channel when Season 4 happens, because he looks to be in a very decent place, very good position. I think he'll be alright in Season 4. Either way. So what I went for here on Guan Yu is I went to level Talu Salt as normal. I think personally in this situation it was actually a mistake with how often Nox has, well at least by this point from what I saw while watching it, how often Nox had silenced me out of it, you know, whether it be intentional or accidental, or how many times the chalk ult would come up, which would usually, you know, obviously it's a silence as well, so a lot of things were just kicking me out of Talu Salt, which is why I believe I should have went for the 2, the Warrior's Will, which will be a little bit easier I'm up here in Season 4 for situations like that, because if you can't channel Talu Assault with Guan, you're really not going to do a lot of damage. Now you do have your horse, but I didn't really have any good horse assaults this match. It's just no cavalry charges this match, rather. Just too mobile for me. It's too spooky. Anytime I jump on, I just get shredded instantly by a Nemesis Assault, and that's it for me because I'm too squishy. Might as well be a mage at that point. It's like the most mobile upwash ever. Still dying though. Oh man. Either way, I'm pretty excited overall for Season 4. And I think Season 3 improved massively. Out there, got ulted again. I think Season 3 got improved massively towards the end. It started out really rough for tanks with, you know, the tank items being gutted, though they did introduce some new items. I think for Season 4, they introduced a good amount of items. Look at that, jump in front of it, kill my ally, it's whatever. They didn't kill my ally, rather, but I almost died. But, yeah, they introduced new items, such it was the Gauntlet of Thebes. I say new, it's reworked from that old crazy one, which was a long time ago. It was there for, I can't remember how long was it there for. It was maybe a day, maybe 2, where it was just the passive would literally increase your bonus health even from items, as it says, by 15% or so. So you could just get a Warlock Sash and an E-staff and have a Hebo with 6,000 health. It was the craziest thing ever. I am rather thankful they took that away. It was, I remember I was playing Conquest, you know, it's just like, let's just goof off, you know, me and my friend. And I picked Bacchus, and it's the first item that, you know, don't question my crazy support antics, but, just have a million health. The unfortunate thing is, the enemy Agni in mid actually took it as well, and he was really tanky, but he did damage because he thought ahead. Oh, man. Reminiscing, just thinking about the season change, just get to reminisce about all that crazy shit. I'm still, I think, as I was saying, I'm going to backpedal here to Guan again because, you know, I'm playing Guan, and Guan has been my main for the longest time. For a long time, it was actually Kui as my main, but I don't know. I don't really think Kui's very good anymore. Someone could probably show me up pretty damn hard with him, but I don't know, I just have a lot of trouble with him. Maybe I just need to get good. The thing with Kui that really fucks with me would be his Exorcism, his 2. Whenever you use it, it has a big cast time on it, which really makes it hard. A lot of his abilities just have a lot of pre-hit delays, so before the ability goes out, you have to play an animation, and it takes a second there for it to go off, which is a little unfortunate. The thing I do like about Kui, though, is I've heard people complain about in the past, including my friends. They've said something about it, probably out of frustration, and be like, "Oh, well, the demons take too long to get to you." Well, personally, I think it's better that way. That way, say you're in lane, you're laning against somebody, whether it be in Conquest or Siege or whatever the hell you're doing. You'll go up, you'll throw the tag, and then they come up to try and stop you from grabbing it, and you clip them with it, you run, and you get shot by the minions, and then bam, refilled. It's pretty good. Either way, referring back to this game, let me go ahead and full screen this, hope it doesn't affect the video at all. Yes, here we are. So, what I went for the standard bluestone, and they are changing that a little bit for Season 4 by just taking 50 mana off of it, I believe, which is whatever, in exchange for 5 MP5, which I applaud this, because we do need more MP5 items for physicals, which they seem to be trying to work on a little bit. See, I went right into the Hide of the Urchin, which, one of the craziest things about those Season 4 patch notes, you know, they reduced the cost of Hide of the Urchin by like 50 gold. That's just, that's pretty crazy that they do that, since that's like the go-to defense item for, you know, multi-mixed teams like the one I'm fighting currently, you know, being 3 physical and 2 magical. You can't really ignore the Yanis, and you don't, sure as hell do not want to ignore the Medusa and Shock, because they'll tear you up. And of course there's Nemesis, but you can't really build protections against her. Right, look at this, boom, and then the silence. I'm just back up here a little bit and try and get as much healing. You might notice that I'm focusing pretty heavily on healing my allies. I just want to see how much healing I could get out. You know, it's not like an assault thing, so I'm not leveling first or anything. But I want to see how much healing I could possibly get out before they end up nerfing it down a little bit. It's gonna lose some. I think the ability, honestly, I think Conviction is gonna be a pretty boring ability in Season 4, with it just being get a little heal there. Naturally, you can still boost it. Okay, we're not gonna forget about the boost. I mean, you could always boost your Talos Assault. Oh, that's so unfortunate right there. I really want to save that Hercules, and I have expected him to be like, why the hell didn't you heal me sooner? You retard or something like that. But he didn't say anything about that. But I tried. I really did. You might notice by now, I don't know if I actually hit tab at any point soon, but they are building a crazy amount of anti-heal, which obviously I would do the same if fighting an Afro Wad and Hercules. Do not want that kind of sustain. I believe at the end they actually mentioned that. They're like, oh, build more healers, bro. You know, like just sitting up on a table above us calling us a bitch and everything. They're like, hey, get more healers. So, you know, I end up enlightening them that Season 4 is coming. Don't worry, there's more anti-heal, so we're going to go more healers. Their heals are getting nerfed, and they're building more anti-heal. Which is actually something you probably should be a little worrisome about, or rather you should be worried about a little bit for Hercules and his 3, and even Shock's heal, whatsoever. You might want to be a little worried about it, because with all the anti-heal coming up, and with Curse lasting 15 seconds, or Ankh, or whatever they call the thing, just the weakening Curse, but on Ankh form, I guess, is going to be, it's going to be pretty spooky. 15 seconds of 50, or it might be 10 seconds. I think it's 10 seconds for 50%, and then you can like purchase an upgrade to make it 65 for 15, or it might just be 50 and then you upgrade to 15 seconds. I don't know. It's some crazy thing. Either way, it is a really long time that you're going to be anti-healed, so good luck with that. And then also they have Witchblade, you got Brawlers, Divine Rune, which got buffed by having Pin thrown onto it, though I believe recently they had nerfed the Pin down from 15 down to 10 because, well, you can't really have an item do that. It's got a lot of stuff. You got Lifesteal, Power, Pin, Anti-Heals. It's like the best thing ever. while also looking cool. Let's go. What we doing? It's just, it's also probably because they did something similar to Brawler's Beat Stick, and items are sort of the same, just for the different branch on the tree, the left branch instead of the right branch, whatever. That Chuck is AFK in there. Hercules, being a bro, didn't want to go ahead, didn't want to grab him in case he was lagging or something, which is the honorable thing to do. Of course, I can grab my Nox here and I'm gonna die. No, thankfully Aphrodite literally saved my life through the anti-heal. You might have noticed that I got just enough health to survive. So right now I'm watching that Yanis over there on the right, and then I don't think the Nox, but the Yanis. I'm watching the Yanis just in case his ult. But thankfully he did not shoot it at me. Or if he did, I would have just been able to step to the side because I was trying to be acutely aware of what was happening, so I didn't get sniped. Because you know how embarrassing it is when you get sniped by someone's ranged ult like that, such as Ra, Nox, Chiron, I believe. Stuff like that. It's all kinds of those really long range things that'll hit you. Either way, that Nemesis is just having a good old time, just shredding all the tanks. It's another thing that's a nightmare whenever you're trying to play Queet, because there's gonna be a Nemesis. You ult, and she's like, "Oh, don't mind if I do." I see the Susano's like, "Afro, can I get some heals?" Now I don't know the situation. I wasn't looking at it too well, but it'd be really hard, especially for the Afro, even more so than how difficult the match was for me. For her to heal, being a literal squishy, trying to heal people with that much anti-heal. The enemy team really did think ahead. I'm not sure if they were in a party, but that doesn't matter. One way or the other, it doesn't matter. So either way, I'm just going to pretty much be just trying to keep my allies alive, try to peel the best I can, and, Talu Salt sometimes. You see that I'm just throwing the heal out all the time. I want to get as much use out of it as I can before they nerf it down a little bit. As I said, he should probably still be alright, low A, high B, in my opinion. Maybe I'm crazy. Bear in mind, when I'm referring to these things, I might throw in a little things towards Conquest, but most of it's just aimed at every other mode, for that matter. Every other mode except for Conquest, I don't like Conquest. I haven't liked Conquest since, like, I don't know, season 1 or 2, I guess. I don't know, I just remember the Midas. The Midas boots was the best thing ever. And the Midas, 100 health, 100 mana. Oh yeah, then the movement speed and the gold. Good stuff. And obviously it's not necessary anymore, but it's memories. See, they're engaging on us. Look how I'm anti-heal already. I have Beat Stick, I have Pestilence. There's no chance in hell I'm getting healed. I can't heal myself because they have so much anti-heal. And I could have gotten Gauntlet of Thebes just to straight and boost the heal on myself a little bit. Afro did have the Rod of Acephalus to boost the heal on everybody. But I think with all the anti-heal they have, it would still sort of have been a waste. I would have been better off with just protection items in general. It's cooldown. Actually, I'm at that point. I'm actually fully cooldown capped, which is a lot of what you want to do on Guan. If there weren't so many things stopping me, such as so many silences and shit, primarily just Nox's zone silence, I would have been able to Talu Assault, dash through, heal someone, do stuff like that. Just completely cycle your abilities around over and over and over. And that's more or less what you want to do in team fights when at all possible, is just keep cycling your abilities and using that cooldown reduction you get from your 1 and 2. It can let you do crazy things. The mana cost, I guess that's there as a limiter, really, the mana cost, to keep you from going forever and absolutely decimating a team like you're playing Omnipotence or something. You just dash through everyone over and over. That would never be that crazy, in a real match, because the cooldown is still actually real. I believe I think it's 12 seconds. I believe it's 12 seconds. I keep trying to think in the past. I know it was like 14 seconds a long time ago, and I think the heal was too. I believe Talu Assault has always been like 15, though it might have been 18 when he was a Guardian. I don't know. He's just been one of the characters who's changed yet still remained the same. It's a weird way of explaining it. He's changed so much yet still may remain the same. It's just the same tools, I guess, the same abilities. Oh yeah, they throw out that beats there when I have like a seizure because I'm like, stop it. I would just keep beating it. I guess I should be happy it's not Aegis, but yeah, his heal has changed from in the past, where say the physical variant, would be the let's start with the magical variant back when it was Tranquil Gift, where he'd heal his allies, have like a little drum-ish sound. No, it's not the bongos. It was something. I don't know what the hell to call it. It wasn't a drum. It was something, and it didn't have like protections on it, to my knowledge, but it did have 30% magical power scaling. So I'm talking like post nerf, just before it actually got reworked to the physical, and that was one way to do it, was scaling. That was a cool way. But let's see what else. His two I believe is largely always remained the same actually. I can't think of when it was different. It might have been different on release. I'm not sure. I try not to look at the released one because then I'll end up comparing it to the current one. The released one was obviously silly, but at least any god is usually silly, except for maybe Bracken. If I recall, he was terrible. I don't know. Talu Assault, of course, has changed, where the protection buff, debuff, stolen, whatever the hell you want to call it, the text on it has changed. It used to be protection buff, debuff. Well, now it's you steal it. You steal protections, even if they don't have any armor. It's just flavor text. By the way, the damage was back when he was magical. It was I know it capped out at 350. It was like 10 through 35, I believe. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Or no, it probably started at 15 then. So, yeah, that's what it did, and it was off magical powers, and actually, yeah, it's better because you can have more magical power than physical power. In exchange, you won't have any basic attack hits. But, yeah, but the most important part about it was when you tread people, you get the protection. It always started out at 10. It would always be 10, and for a while, Guan Yu actually had that on physical, and I guess it was a little bit too crazy, so they took it away. So now you end up with the thing that happened a long time ago, where it's a 2 through... it's crazy, some stuff, you know. I do apologize, it's actually getting really late for me, and I don't remember how much longer this video is. Just getting tired. Either way, I know his old ult was obviously Tactician's Advantage, which was what Amaterasu currently has, except it was a lot stronger than, as it like her, whatever her ult's called, Tactician's Advantage. When Guan had it, what it had did for him is it would amplify the total damage, not base damage, total damage, which was pretty crazy. Plus, it had a silence and a slow and a stun and all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, Horse is actually a really powerful ult. You know, I threw out the numbers earlier. Yeah, it's a very powerful ult. That's before scaling off of physical power, mind you, which is going to obviously be really strong as well. It can just be a little difficult to secure all of it, but I prefer it that way myself. Have all that power and lock it behind the ability to actually secure it. It can be a little bit hard against teams with mobility, but it's whatever. For the most part, what I try and do is just throw it on Chalk because he's the only one I can really grab. Nemesis can dash away, Nox can dash away into Chalk. Yanis can go through the wall, and Medusa can dash, so Chalk was really my only target to use it on. So I just had to try and do what damage I could. If at all possible, though, I do try to stun as many people as I can. Now, I believe that bug still happens, where if you cancel your ult early, like manually cancel it, that'll double charge. I'm not 100% on it, but they might have fixed it. God, I hope they fixed it. Because that's an irritating thing. The other thing figured out by Freak King helped me doing all my checking and stuff whenever I'm too busy goofing off and playing other games. I do that a lot. I goof off and play other games a lot. Look at all the anti-heal though. Beat Stick, Curse, Divine Rune. And then Nox hits me through all this 30% damage reduction, and then Nemesis managed to work in a few basics on me, which has then also reduced my power. I don't think she takes a lot of power. I think it's only like 9%, which is not a lot considering I don't have any power. But that's, you know, that's a lot of damage that she's taking off of me, I guess. And again, Guan doesn't really scale super well. At least, it's whatever. It's whatever. It's not something I'm too concerned about. Get out of here, Norton. Anyway. This is where I'm actually really worried about them grabbing the Fire Giant, and really did not want them grabbing Fire Giant, because if they get that, then that would make it really hard for one of those hot comebacks that I want so bad. Right there I saw Nox dashing. I was like, well, they're going to be doing it, but we did have vision on it. I didn't see the Fire Giant get pissy, so she must have just been going for blue buff, which I think actually she is. I think I end up seeing it. Oh no, here I'm going to try and shred, and it's getting body blocked. It's whatever. I'm not really going to do any damage to him. We got Herc with the beautiful pluck. Unfortunately, he got slowed and was unable to position himself to push him back further. Though I'm unsure if we would have been able to kill the Chalk, because he's just walking, just a walking brick wall. Good luck with that. Let's see what he's got. Okay, that's the Chalk ult coming out. We're all silenced. We're all anti-healed the hell and back. We get slowed by Medusa. By the way, that's getting buffed for Medusa. Nemesis sees me. She immediately shreds my protections, takes a chunk of my health, and anti-heals me. It's a little bit unfortunate. Right there, I fell through a Yanis ball. I didn't even see that shit. I guess I must have just caught the hitbox right at the end of it. Right there, boom, get the big stun out, and then I'm probably going to pay with my life for it. Yeah, she has crippled me rather, so I'm not really able to do anything about that. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look what our team's going to do. I think I looked at it. I went in the shop, didn't I? Damn it. Alright, we'll get rid of the slows. Retire with the slows, we need more health. And we'll try and watch what happens here. We got Hercules hanging out. They're chasing him down hard. Oh, there we go. Good job. Almost just now, right now while watching that, I just tried to type in, nice job, on the keyboard, BBG in. Did I actually do that in game? I don't think I did. I should have. That was actually pretty damn nice there, Hercules. Well done to you, my friend. Well done. It's always cool to see characters like that that you don't really ever see, such as Hercules. At least I never see people playing Guan. Zhang Kui, you know, I see Zhang Kui, I just actually single him out and go for him. Same with Sylvanas. But we are coming up on the end of the video here, so anyway, I know for sure that I did it. I'm showing you guys the in-game statistics. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. The person has doubt in their heart about the Devil Warrior. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and sort of, the video is a little bit longer than stuff I had prepared to say for it, so I had to sort of freeball there, so if it sounds weird, whoops, my bad. Match big quality feedback. Those only pop up occasionally, and I feel like it's a trap if you answer it. Anyway, yeah, we'll take a look at this stuff. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in Season 4.